hello nhưng mà thời ngày với ngày sáng ngày thực đang ấy trong về cái suy game trong khỏi vì đang DC mỗi lần EG trong game trong khỏi này và sân chuyện này để tránh cái con lòng thời từ lọp tới té chỉ mỗi lần tập lại mà để chụp như mơ xong ra chú international nhưng mà ban nhưng play mail break khi ba đây chỉ muốn tóc bạc và hai chỉ billion là chiến năng ấy nè để tránh cứ nhận tới tem một tóc hẹp và 2 billion chiến giờ nó tới cái ban lại bay hay là mẹ để nhé năng thời tới và cốt trên môi năng wing làm bayจะ làm do lại mua lại bay ý lại môi hay năng lại pi lại pi cứ ban mà hai chỉ bay lên 4 sáng thôi lại muối cứ bông buồn lên là năng lại muối cái buồn lên là bà có tới cứ cọp sri mình té trắng cứ dân mẹ chăm mới là những cái phong thuê ca sủng phia player hai năng sủng phia này là mới toàn là lưỡi cha lưỡi trắng á ra thì vi admin nó không game cho nhưng mà ai like ba đây mưa nặng ba này là trong mưa nó có tầm mưa trên YouTube cái live thì liên quan đến màn buổi như anh như mình chạm vào sáng to bán bia vì on mình nơi không game đọc về chứng bởi nhân do máu chứng vì tẹt cho cá đây to cái lên món mình nhưng mà like ban là cái lên như này cái phong là lửa cha nó lửa ấy khi như anh like bán những của diamond thế mình sẽ không thấy nơi năm khỏi giống như nhưng ai từ mưa to bạn là một số những nhóm miền lôi như này chứ cuối mới tới Australia mình đến lôi cuối chập lòng lắm hơi và hai chị bán ký ngày nắng buổi bây giờ chọc sự môi tiền nắng giảm bị bay nhá cứ dương thời trăm mưa nè đây nghe nó từ của người vinh dịch trắng đơn giản ấy lại môi lại tí cứ best of five cứ dân mưa to là blue và hai chuyện mong vậy cho mong buồn blue ăn chọc mình xuống trắng này xem đẹp nhóm cứ nhóm do ý chí buổi nhưng bán chạy chim cho lưỡi ý chí ấy sân chỉ ý chí tránh cứ nhóm một hot chỉ ở hai cái nè bị xe đấy đang là lễ nhưng mình không lại ý chí gọt nhé hai con lỗ một trắng nhưng được chạy nó thế từ trên mẹ nè để ban lịch bấy cứ ban mà chỉ pi liên là sáng to mơn là rồi hơi nè lịch bí cứ bay liên 4 san mà mơn là mà mơn phí mà mơn nói mà mơn phí con là hơi xem mẹ lại ban lịch mỗi này mà lại mỗi cứ muốn nên là chiến bởi có tới chất đọc lên này chất đọc lên là copy nói ai là pbc sao vì mình chỉ phanh ha mà nãy miền lối ngay nhóm viêm sợi miền lối bị sát vì mình bị tròn kháng mẹ nhóm phổi cho mỏm ban mùi mối mẹ nó nhóm phong là xám cái countdown lại countdown cho đó là sự đi bay lại chẳng những ba game về để kia lại những style nhưng mà lại do cái phong là sòng phim mỗi player nhưng mà lại bán buổi vì nó lương vào hậu sớ đọc bên chắc mà nhóm chăm do mà lại chứ vì hiểm tẹt mưa cho bắt lại nè nhưng mà anh lại không game đọc bên game cháu đâm lấy nhưng mà anh mưa cho mưa ban chứ ở đây cái này đó shit bà có tới họ giúp nhưng mà nay mới nhưng đây là hổ thôi tâm mà dục nó mới đây pro rồi đọc bên trong 25 mới ngày 6 không ngày xa thư cao mơ mòn tới nếu chỗ mới bây giờ nó chạy team giót vài tỏi dương ở thay mày team bị xe trong đấy bàn dương trụ mờ xuống khán cứ ở đây mong ta chắc là ngồi đây bắt lời rồi nhưng mà xin đòn lại cái support là phải mùi nâng fan này lại mở store support viết đôi khi mà rồi phát sắp là lại chuyện này lại thay support chuẩn họ bởi sao chia kia chỉ chuẩn họ tới free mọi phát sắp tính support nữa tụi bọn chỉ chuẩn họ đó đó 4 hè mọi chết bật cái tới má một con xuyên mặt
Chronos.
Oh! Whoa! EG, your retort.
Slark pickers always the Zulu.
Oh, jeez. Sorry, Slark pickers. All right, well, no matter what, it's going to be a good game, though, right? Game 3? Yeah! The hype is here, and it's going to get electric. Thanks a lot, and back to you, Red Eye.
Thank you very much, Mr. Slacks, with a couple of very hypey people in the crowd, obviously, all the crowd getting hyped up for our game 3 as we look forward to.
Yeah.
You all right, Shane?
Oh, that was just pretty funny. The trumpet got me.
The crowd has got right now. It doesn't really work when you have two North American organisations.
I heard after the second game, it was...
bật cái tới là nãy cứ chia dương an vậy ban sang với gì final low break hit chẳng nè lại nhé cứ lần lần từ pot vai mùi lần top winner nơi ad break hit pass mùi lần quý đôi nhưng mà mình chạy giống cứ lại mẹ như vậy tôi lại với nhưng mà non xin chụp nơi lại bay cứ billion mà sign bao nhiêu lại hay lại phí cứ bay liên 4 sign mà mở riêng nơi hai sinh đạo lại mỗi cứ buồn liền 3 đòn buồn liên riêng giờ đón tới nghe hỏi là DC rồi nè ba lại mỗi là DC xuống rồi
And of course, both teams getting ready for their third and final game. I had a couple of people on Twitter. Oh, I got the lower bracket almost completed. No, you didn't. Would have shown proof, pictures, or it doesn't happen, or it didn't happen. It has been the most incredible tournament for upsets. If DC now beat EG in this final game and go to the grand final, is that the ultimate upset we've ever seen?
I wouldn't call it the ultimate upset, but definitely
in tournaments, not just in DC beating EG, but in terms of a tournament run.
វាខកពេកយូរ nè cho khi họ nhưng ai chạp bia bán tay còn ha vì mơ tới vì hiện tẻ tẻ ví dụ bạn cháu và sân chuyển ở bên like nhưng không kể tới vì ở chạp tới vì ọt tẻ bên chạp trong đó vì lòng tẹo mình tên bởi vì mình nông kém tới vì số bạn nhưng ai chạp tới việc tệ là nếu như chạp là việc ha chạp màu tớ đọc với trong việc tẹo tẹo nhưng mà don't have your mouth vì ấy đấy
and refocus and actually win the game after. They definitely can do it.
Chẳng ở sân chỉ chậm bên một phía sân khăn mưa tới chẳng chạp anh ở mưa tái bị mưa tới hiện
third and final draft of this one. Wings, of course, we'll give a mention to them. We're going to see them in the grand final. They await right now. What are they thinking sitting here watching this? Are they learning anything, Gods?
Easy game.
They're probably happy. Easy. Probably, if they're really confident. No, they are.
I mean, they're happy to see it go to a game 3 because it means
takes
these
a little
two
bit more.
teams. Yeah, it's more emotionally taxing. It's more physically taxing on these teams. So, and it's more times for Wings to kind of get. It's more footage they can use to prepare for their grand finals match. So I think Wings are happy that it wasn't like a 2-0 stomp because that's not. You're not going to learn as much from that.
Yeah, sure. Shiva, coach-wise, we're going to put Coach Shiva in right now for EG.
Who am I coaching?
You're coaching EG. Shane's coaching DC because he's been DC fanboy for the whole event. So you go down right now. They've just come out. They've headed back to their booth. What have you told them as they head back in?
Don't get cocky.
But
other than that, I'm just gonna let Fear and PPD do their thing because it's worked so far, and why not let them continue doing that?
Yeah, they don't need any motivation tools.
I don't think so. I mean, I think they obviously is less hungry than they were last year, perhaps, as Parker called earlier, but I think they definitely want it again. We heard it actually, we heard a video from Fear this morning, where he basically said, you know, I just want that one chance after his arm injury to prove that I can do the championship and still have the chance to play there, and he's getting a second chance right now, which is pretty impressive, and he wants it.
Yeah.
Like Coach Shane.
Coach Shane.
Red Eye. Don't listen to him. Jakiro's not the hero. But stick to what you've been doing all tournament. Don't be phased by it. Your drafts have been phenomenal. The last game we drafted well, we just missed our timing by a little window, and EG played extremely well. So we just need more of a balanced draft that can, in all stages of the game, meet EG. And just stick to what you're doing because it's working.
I like that. I actually want to go and play now. I feel like I could you can do it, and I could carry the team through. God's final words before we head into the draft.
I think the team that's going to play most fearlessly is going to be the one that comes out on top.
Hai lần đó
play too scared, can't play too
Quất
cautious.
International nó
Like good
kia
advice to me. Coaches all
to
around
vay
here.
hồn này
Let's
lại
head
một
back
điểm
downstairs
bạn
for the
làm
draft
và
for
bạn
game
làm
3.
tranh kia
Welcome back inside, everybody. We're getting ready
Mơ
for
bạn đã
game
không có
number 3
mưa
of Digital Chaos versus EG. Only one of these teams can move on to meet up against Wings in the grand final. I'm back at my drafting station here. Blitz, Merlini, and Waga. Gentlemen, let the draft begin. It looks like EG are going to be having the first pick, and they quickly stack up the Elder Titans. DC go right for the Beastmaster and accompany it with the Shadow Demon already.
Yeah, it's curious to see. In the previous series, both teams ignored Shadow Demon fully, actually. So it wasn't prioritized. It was not banned either. And here we see it coming back again with the Beastmaster combo. Wow.
Already what could be our first somewhat peculiar pick. What does that say to us right now, Will? Early Tidehunter grab when you're passing over some of more...
Ok, bye bye nhưng mà từ gặp một chắp đám ok xong nhưng mày bye nhưng bây giờ lại bật sao nhau ấy
next game on his Faces Void, they were forced. He hits a Chrono on a solo of Nazusa outside the base, which was the beginning of the end for Digital Chaos.
Do you think any part of that at all is also because, like, maybe they also want to make sure they get Weehan something that he can also thrive in the later game? Let's say Fu does fall short, they'll have at least Weehan there to kind of be able to step up. You can only step up so much when you have a
using up your reserve time.
Yeah, I think that was one of those pocket picks that they decided to try out for that game. Push the pace, give EG a little bit something different, but at the same time, what's been standard for DC is they Weeha one of those heroes similar to what Samil plays, something that can scale later into the game, that can carry if things go wrong, and I feel like they shouldn't get away from that concept.
That's the interesting thing. They play fairly similar mid heroes. From Samil maybe not playing as much Invoker, and DC really being the only team that had great success with Invoker this TI. I feel they have sort of the same heroes that they go towards. So second phase here, we see EG banning out the Invoker. Pretty expected. Storm gets removed with respect to Samil. And I think there's a lot of focus on the mid hero right now. You pretty much have to consider getting it in the next two.
That ban, though, on Wyvern leads me to believe that DC do want to get something to do a bit of a split push game, I'd imagine. That's been a go-to counter pick for a lot of teams to prevent a lot of the heavy illusion of pressure.
It's just a great hero against Beastmaster in general, and then Shadow Demon works as well, because if you time it to the illusions, but it's mainly about attack speed or on Beastmaster. You make everyone just kill their teammates so fast. We've seen some amazing Win to Wyvern situational picks here at TI.
Now, do you think DC would consider just going right for one of the luxurious cores that you can pair with the Shadow Demon right now, or is that a bit too soon to begin to show your hand?
I think the problem with that is that Elder Titan's on the side of Evil Genius, like Terrorblade, Morphling, really good with Shadow Demon, however very terrible with Elder Titan. We saw a lot of Terrorblade and Morphling throughout the group stage because Elder Titan was often banned out. But now that he's in, those look a lot less attractive. I think Luna is probably a little bit better, especially versus...
Whoa, right to Fuzzy Wuzzy here, the third
expect. I think EG might be considering going for like a Venge Terrorblade kind of thing here, actually, by the looks of things. When you have Tide Ulti and Elder Titan, two really strong things for securing the team fights. If you have a Terrorblade early on as well, you can push so hard, and at minute 10-11 mark, Terrorblade clear Ancients really fast, and he matches up fairly well against Ursa, I feel.
I think they could just use more team fighting, because as usual versus Ursa, you're concerned about the Roshan. They already have the Elder Titan to scout him out, but like right now, Digital Chaos, they can't really go into the pit versus the Elder Titan and the Tidehunter, and I think you want to keep going in that direction. Force Ursa to not get that first Roshan, and then just slowly peek off until your cores get enough farm.
EG do go right for the PPD Rabbit, picking up the Dazzle. This is normally where I say, well, watch out for Huskar, but with DC picking up the Ursa, that's not very likely, it seems.
It's just a comfort hero for PPD, and I also think they demonstrated in the last game how important Weave can be. I think that was one of the games that I've seen ever where Weave has the biggest impact. It was insane.
Yeah. I think they could actually just go for Dusa again. With Dusa, Tidehunter, Elder Titan, like their team fight is extraordinarily good. They have no way to stop the Medusa from dealing damage, no good diffuser carriers. Ursa's like mediocre because he doesn't build man.
Yeah, it's probably to the point that Digital Chaos, if the mid hero is not picked before the last pick, they should probably ban out Dusa over Huskar, even against the Dazzle.
Agreed.
After we saw the first two openers, I think Dusa makes the most sense for EG, but Digital Chaos, I think they've kind of thought about that. They have not the best heroes against it, but at the same time, you still have 2 hero picks remaining. You can pick something as a support that can deal with her, at least in the early game. Just because I feel like you can pressure her pretty heavily in lane. That's the one thing about Dusa. You just want to gank her once or twice, slow down her farm progression, then get active around the map, because she's not going to rotate early on to help the other lanes.
Wonder if DC could get something for themselves with that maybe extra support spot that would be good against the Medusa in preparation. Coddle Mana League was not too bad, I heard. Nyx Assassin.
Big fan of Coddle?
Yeah, maybe.
We kind of need a misery hero though, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
10
He's
seconds
been going
remaining.
to the Kuka a lot, but
Oh, snap.
And he goes again.
Dire team's turn to pick.
They're going to pair the Kuka Shadow Demon once again.
It's hard in the 5v5 scenario though when you're against Dazzle, because when you play the Shadow Demon Kuka, you're kind of trying to eliminate one guy really quick. Same for a Beastmaster, and actually Ursa does the same thing. They need to go on several different targets now.
Radiant team
good call on
ban.
the Terrorblade earlier.
Yeah, thanks, boy.
I think, imagine if they went like Ogre or Bounty Hunter or Riki instead of Kunkka, though, they would just like get crushed in the team fight. They'd have good roam and okay lanes, but overall, though, the team fights would just really go EG's way. Terrorblade, as you mentioned.
10
Yeah,
seconds
it's just a
remaining.
very natural pairing with the Tide ulti. Like, you push so early, and Terrorblade hits that peak. When he gets the Dragonlance threads early on in the laning phase, there's not much that can fight against him during the Metamorphosis. You kind of just have to forfeit the towers.
Yeah. Also, if you look at DC's lineup, they have very few ways to deal with them when it comes to later parts of the game. If he can kite around the Ursa, he's going to go for something like the Scotty. There's a lot of single target focus on him. There's a Dazzle, like you said, on the other side.
Exactly. And Terrorblade is one of those illusion heroes that does stack up his illusions close to each other and then fight. And the only AoE they have is really, well, Kunkka. He brings most of it, the ship, if he lands it. Whereas some other illusion heroes like Naga, you don't care about having AoE damage because they're going to split push anyway.
I think DC also have an armor problem, similar to last game. They have ET and Dazzle again on the side of EG, and there's no Warcry, no anything. I think last game they had to buy so many armor items that they couldn't do any damage in the fights. This game, something I would like to see
remaining.
some armor hero, maybe Sven, I suppose.
Sven's pretty okay, but at the same time, I think he's going to just get kited up.
Okay. And he's going to be taken out together, and EG go right for the Brewmaster here.
That's so good against Ursa. I like it. It's very brave to go for a Brewmaster here, but just the Cyclone on the Ursa, chain Cycloning him in the team fights, and then the Drunken Haze impact as well. You can mess so much with DC's lineup.
10 seconds remaining.
It's kind of heavy committal though, but you do have the Terrorblade to fall back on.
I mean, there's no way they can press him down before his ulti in any fight. Like, even without the Grave, I think it's really difficult.
Reserve time.
I feel DC are going to struggle since they don't really have any silence or anything like that. I would love to see a puck for them, honestly, but they're going to go for Resolution Slark.
Trusty Slark, I mean, you got one draft left, potentially, in your tournament life. And I guess they go for a comfort pick here, gentlemen. Now that we do see the spread before us, what do you think is going to happen here for game number 3?
I think EG have probably the more well-rounded lineup. I just think that the team fight is going to be a little bit too hard. You have a Terrorblade who I think is going to scale very well in a game like this. I'm going to go with EG for game number 3.
I also go with EG. I think they have heavy physical damage, not really countered by anything on Digital Chaos, and I think DC are going to really struggle to get Roshan.
I think DC are doing pretty much the same as they've done in previous series. They have their own unique style, but it looks like EG has figured it out. They have adapted a lot in this series, and DC have not. I think EG got this.
Sounds good. Let's do it, folks. It's the last game. Game number 3. Evil Geniuses versus Digital Chaos. Let's send it over to our courtside casters now. It's LD and Mock.
5 seconds remaining.
Sounds good. Let's do it, folks. It's the last game. Game number 3. Evil Geniuses versus Digital Chaos. Let's send it over to our courtside casters now. It's LD and Mock.
And they made it to the grand final. The analysts have little faith in the DC draft. You and I were talking, it's just a meeple game. Could this be a tanker game potentially with the heavy 5-man push from EG? DC go more to the comfort pick here in the start. Who do you got for this one?
I kind of agree with the panel of EG and the pick they have, but I feel like there is still a way for DC to win Resolution and still get farmed up.
DC go more to the comfort pick here in the Slark.
early roams from these DC supports as well could actually have a huge impact, but it is game 3, and this is it's all or nothing right now for both of these teams with this draft. By far the most interesting pick is Sumail on that Brewmaster and how much he can get done.
This is like a taste of TI4 where we would see the super heavy 5-man lineups, the old EG style where they'd get like the Enigma Tidehunter, the Void Enigma, the Brewmaster, the big 5-man Deathball type strategy. It's a different engine for the push though, the Terrorblade. Something that wasn't seen nearly as much back then, but is equally fearsome in the 5-man in its own right.
Even now, I think the Terrorblade is still falling off in comparison to where he was at Manila and before TI as well, even in the group stages. I feel like Terrorblade has not seen the light of day for a period of time.
It's a decent Terrorblade game though. Like the thing I liked about a potential Tinker pick is it gives them a really good way to do with the Illusion Swarm and just the general early 5-man, but they don't have the best illusion clear. Like for DC to do well, sure Kunkka can potentially if he gets super farm, but realistically it's a 4-position Kunkka. You can't expect him to deal with the illusions on his own. They have very little wave clear aside from that. Shadow Poison takes a while to stack up, isn't going to deal with the main TB. He's protected by a Dazzle. There's no counter for Grave this game, so I think it's like you said, that DC really do need to get something out of the Shadow Demon Kunkka. If not in the first couple minutes, but definitely with that first smoke rotation, those early movements. And RDC Soxa is starting with one here. As the battle of the bruisers rages in mid. Sumail skills the clap early. Generally is the first ability you pick up, but it means there's no evasion chance here. So Weehawk can go in.
They got him on side. He's low already. The counter's come through, reaching him up. Is this going to be first blood side? Not yet, and he will go down. That's huge. Right clip from Soxa. That gets it done.
Sumail grabbing the point now, Drunken Brawler. So this is where he can equalize things. With the Ursa, you have the attack speed slow of the Thunderclap. You have evasion from Drunken Brawler. Almost certainly expect to see at least 1 point Drunken Haste. At that point, that early damage, the pressure that Weehawk was putting out, not going to be as easy to do. So important for DC to get kills in the other lanes. Really nice start here. Zai going for the early point in Astral Spirit. It's nice when there's 3 heroes to run it through, but the early point in Echo Stop is a more defensive build, and it has allowed a lot of teams to get out of situations like that.
So this bottom lane, again, they're kind of leashed here because there's an aggressive dual lane Sumail. Right click's a bit more Earth Shock. It does hit, I think, a little bit. They have the...
He's going for that. Is there going to be evasion? No, sir. Weehawk gets it done.
Level 2 Fury Swipe. That's all that it takes, and as you said, no misses. You're good.
I mean, it's a 10% dodge. You cannot rely on the dodge at this stage. It's when you combine it with the Drunken Haste, but Sumail not level 3 yet. That's where the miss chance becomes very high. 45% chance to miss on top of the 10% evasion. He is going to skill for level 2 clap. So still Weehawk can find openings here, especially if he gets a good rune.
No.
But the good rune goes to Zai as he does grab an invis.
Yeah, Zai will be down bottom, parroting up and looking for maybe more trouble. You can see that how far Soxa is Shadow Poisoning zoning out Universe, but you might be able to make it go on Soxa. He's a little too far up. Stop. There it is. They caught him. They took it down in time. I don't think so.
This could go poorly for them. Warren coming out. Then the pounce forward onto Universe. Resolution engagement. Dropping him low. Gets off the anchor smash. Is going to lock him in place now. The follow-up damage isn't enough to let great 2 hero stop. And Misery needs this sword to connect. Universe gonna juke it. There's no pounce to go through, and Misery trapped in the trees. No regen. Death to the club of the Elder Titan. And they're doing it 2v3. They don't have a point in Soul Catcher, and it's only level 2 Shadow Demon, so they don't hit the burst damage. I think you really want to be going on the Elder Titan there rather than the Tidehunter, who already has 2 points of Kraken Shell, but until they get more levels on these supports, kills on the Tide are going to be hard to come by.
Just too tanky at this point, like you said, with the Kraken Shell. And even base HP as well. But
they got him so low because the Anchor Smash hadn't gotten off, but once it got off, it was very difficult to continue damaging him.
I like the rotation, though, to mid, as they're setting up for maybe a Torrent kill here onto Sumail, and another kill is huge. They stopped him from farming before when he was playing that Jusa, bringing him down a second time, especially when the first time was a solo kill.
But look at how well Zai is reading the map, already pinning out the likelihood that Misery has left the lane. They have a good Observer Ward in the enemy jungle. They don't actually see the Elder Titan, but they also don't see him pulling or in the area, so they get suspicious about his position. Instead, Misery will move all the way top here. Moves not level 6. Difficult to set up the kill. Possible to run down the Parapasic. It's a Dazzle lane. There's still a skill point not going to be available. He can grab the level 1 Grave if he'd like.
He already torrented the creep wave, so it looks like they're not going for a kill.
Meanwhile, bottom Resolution, he's been left alone, and if you leave a Slark alone against Tidehunter, he is going to get bullied by Anchor Smash. He can get his level 6 and then at least can always heal up under the cover of Shadow Dance, but you can already see Rezo has to back away. If they're not getting kills out for a lot, this is not an effective move at all for DC. If that was an Ursa bottom or something, he would be fine, but given this matchup, he's really going to struggle. And the lane stabilized for EG, a free farming Terrorblade after the early pressure and success mid. Weehaw now even, or close to even on CS with Sumail here. But can he find a kill?
Drunken Haze did come out, so that's the evasion that you were talking about. So Weehaw will have a tougher time getting right clicks, but he's going again with the Earth Shock, and he's got Fury Swipes on. See if he can actually bring him low. I don't think he'll be able to even with another Earth Shock overpower, and it gets Weehaw enrages. The stop will come through, though.
Another Shadow Wave will put him in a lot of trouble. He heads to the north, TPD. He gets juked. Ursa has time. He's moving. He can turn this, baby.
He wants to die as well. Now the Shadow Wave coming out. He is about to fall. The Great comes out just in time.
He's playing this fight so well. Mon on the high ground. He might be able to make a move on PPD. Misery's coming in. Torrent to save him. Potentially doesn't actually cast it. He gets away. Weehaw is just playing out of his mind this game.
That was an incredible series of events. If he had gotten that second kill as well, oh my god, that would have been something. Zai barely limping away, going back to the base.
He just played it perfectly there, using the Enrage right as EG was trying to finish the job, forcing them back by getting enough damage on the other Titan. If he just tries to run, he probably dies, but instead the other Titan has to back, then it's only the Dazzle trying to focus him down. Good adjustment by Misery to come and assist him as he has enough to collect level 4. I think the slight worry here for DC is that Slark is getting pretty heavily outfarmed, and he's not a great hero against 5-man anyway, so you really don't want to be behind with 2-man mid. Barely getting off the split, they forced it out. Nicely done by DC, as long as they can disengage, but Misery being hounded here. There's another boulder toss, likely to drop.
Looks like the last right click's coming in. They lose the Duncan support, they force out that ultimate. EG, they're happy with how that went.
They almost had him, he was so low.
He really was.
They're getting chased down, he pounces the Universe, blocks it. Good disruption here, so we can't get that follow-up Anchor Smash. Sansa will save his carry, but the thing to note here isn't that he lives, but rather that he's being pressured out of the lane so heavily. Not a pre-farm Slark game.
5 stacks for the Shadow Poison, bringing Tidehunter, who's very tanky, down pretty low. The Universe is still being aggressive. Resolution still doesn't have 6, so he doesn't have that Shadow Dance pass. He can't stay in lane. When you have that, you could maybe at least get a little bit more farm and be a bit more aggressive, but that's just not the case at this point. And again, you talked about it, the Terrorblade continues to pre-farm. Very good timing. Whatever item he goes for here, at this point he's got Shreds and Aquila, and he's TPing down bottom as well. His Metamorphosis is up, ready to go, and he's got enough mana to use it.
They're just going to deathball like behind the Terrorblade. I don't think EG cares all that much about getting kills. It's a bonus if they do. They might find one on Misery. Doesn't have the boat yet, only a level 2 Shadow Poison. DC's tools for deep-pushing are very minimal. And EG recognized that with Ravage online, DC cannot defend their towers right now. They will have to trade. The Beastmaster can't find pickoff when the enemy team is 5-manning. They do catch Misery here. This doesn't look great for the Kunga. Anchor Smash, Poison Touch, and he's dead. EG are gaining steam mod.
Dire's middle tower isn't going to last long.
They have a weakness they can exploit here. It needs to be Weehaw stepping up big. He looks for the kill on Misery.
They just need one more, and they will find it. The big problem for EG right now is that Brewmaster, even so, he's still doing okay, and that we're at least ahead of Resolution.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The tower would be super helpful. They need something to go their way, and a tier 1 trade is actually not that bad.
It looks like Dire fortified their structure.
Yeah, DC getting enough out of the lanes to not lose hope just yet. They are split pushing effectively. Like, if Weehaw wasn't finding all these kills mid, I would say they're in a ton of trouble. With the start he's had, they do have a chance. He's got a haste through now, and he can run onto Zai. But finding the tower against a Tide is very risky, so Weehaw will back away. Now the Brew Split also functional. EG has 2 ultimates ready to defend the tower. Still no Kunga Boat. Misery knows he really has to get his ultimate if they want to take fight. Slark cannot stop the push. Shadow Demon can only slow it down. Ursa can't run in against 5. Instead, he's going to try to isolate Fear. He does find the Terrorblade, but can he burst him down? Fear has 17 armor.
Everyone is coming right now. That's just under perfectly timed. And Rage is not able to do enough. He'll try to TP.
Oh, a really nice play by Weehaw, though. By isolating Fear, he drags EG away from the tower mid. He forces out the Sunder. He slows them down while DC continue to split push. Now the Kunga boat about to come out. They may lose the tower, but the overall maneuver still very sound. Coming in mid. Oh, he may get caught, though. He doesn't have bottom for a roar. Clap, but no follow-up. They are slowing this thing down a bit. EG just don't want to commit their ultimates until they have guaranteed kills, and with Terrorblade Metamorphosis still cooling down, he's not going to join the fight, which means EG, I think, trying to push too soon. They should be pushing around the Metamorphosis timing, but they're not doing so. This is giving DC a lot of time to farm, and all of a sudden, with barely any kills happening the past couple minutes, DC are back on top.
It's just, they want to fight with those ultimates. It seems like they just can't find the pickoffs. And even when they find Weeha, he's already too fast. He's chasing after that Terrorblade. Yeah, he gets the Thunder off.
Bottom tower is being chipped away.
Instead, again, that's also what you talked about. It slows push down even further because they all rotate over to help him. So that tier 1 tower stays alive in the mid lane. You can see right now, the Terrorblade is top of the net worth, but it's still, again, Sumail has to find a way to catch back up into this game to get a Blink Dagger here at some point in time.
Was not a great comeback hero by any stretch. As far as farming goes, he can fight his way back into the game sometimes, but if he wants to farm his way back in, he's going to get completely outclassed by Beastmaster. Moo going for the Necro Book. Mana burn is a big concern for some of these EG heroes, especially Brewmaster, who's had a bad start. There's no Arcane Boots on him, PPD's nowhere near them. Zai has one set, but the Mana burn could pose problems for him. Actually, another pair on Universe, especially if the Brew gets caught away from the team or the cooldown has been used, so be careful, he's enough farm for that split. But now Metamorphosis is up and EG are going to push again.
Top tower is under attack.
So close to that Blink Dagger, he has great time to go, and he has double damage through, but I just don't think they can defend it. He's also got a point, and it will still go down. EG get that tier 1 mid. Some extra gold to go their way along with it, but
it took them a while though, and all the ways DC splitting the map on Spark farming, Kunkka farming, EG 5-manning. Normally this team is known for doing a really good job at distributing farm and not falling behind as far as economy goes. That's how they're able to take the eHome series into the ultra late game and still come out on top. They're just not used to having Sumail this far behind, so I still think EG's 5-man is extremely strong, but honestly, this is about as good as you can expect for DC, especially with that bottom lane not going that smoothly after the first blood. They struggled to farm the Slark, but he's caught up. DC are still in good shape here.
Feels like almost DC are spreading the map a little bit better, and far better actually than EG, and that's what you were talking about. That's where their strengths lie when DC are taking over now, and looks like they're going to maybe...
They have a Blink on Ursa now. He also has a DD rune.
Tower so low. They can pop the DD, he will, and they're going to go for this tier 1 tower.
No flip available, one more hit.
Dire's middle tower just went down.
Very nicely played by Weeha. Picks the tower from right under the nose of EG. Universe going for the mech build, so they don't really have the best catch. Brewmaster Blink still not available against the Slark and Ursa with a Blink. These are mobile heroes. You also have X to allow them to play more aggressively and still be pulled back to safety. They can really get away with some deep, bold movements against EG, and EG very much committed to 5-man Dota.
Snail is sitting at 1900 though, so his Blink Dagger is almost done, but here comes Resolution. Also has to force out that Brew split as well. And if they have that down, they can feel a little bit more comfortable. Universe is on its way towards his mech as well.
This man has been an absolute godsend for the team. And now he's looking to make another play. His DD rune has worn off, but he's got an Invis mod here very far behind the tower. Even Zai, super far back, but somehow Weeha still finds an instant stop. He blinks out, almost dodging it. Does end up getting caught, but now the first on the tier. They're going to keep him out of the fight and try to get the first out safely. He has been coming in play. He's got the ultimate Earth Splitter coming through. This Weeha will end up going down. A very deep dive. Can they counter this anywhere? Looks like they maybe try to set up on Universe, but Tide is just too tanky of a target. That was a huge kill. Insane reactions there from Zai. It seemed like they may have known that the Invis had been popped. So he was very quick to react.
I have to say though, while that was happening, they still do get that tower down. Moo is pushing, and he has his book now as well. So they're getting items on other heroes. It's not just Weeha. Shuri goes down there, and it was a deep dive. And she almost was able to blink away from that split, that stomp.
That would have been so sick, because he has the speed to run back in and kill him at that point with phase boots. Here's the smoke from Misery. And for Moo, they do see PPD, they have it, they can quickly kill him with a roar, but the stop is there, again inside the position to save the day, the boat's gonna hit, but PPD able to withstand this offense, and now they have to back. There's a Ravage ready, the blue blink, I don't think it's been scouted, he goes in for the initiation, he finds Sansa with the clap, but that's not the worst kill to give up. They even commit a split just for Shadow Demon. Not terrible, all things considered for DC, but can they find more? They're chasing after move. Follow-up clap is there. Zai stops it. Red the one to Fear. Weehaw retreating rapid. He's far out of position to assist move. Fear wants to bring him down, but Wee tries to save him the whole. Not enough.
The right drum keeps him alive. Move's still getting chased down by Illusion in Universe. Now bottling up on the north. There's going to be more fighting happening. And finally, Resolution about to fall. Looks like he will go down to water.
Has the Palik, has the Shadow Blade, but he leaves Stone with a certain death. The prediction blink there by Sumail. I think he dies to the tower anyway, but DC overplaying their hand a bit. Rabbit wasn't even used there. Moo will disconnect. Gives DC a chance to collect their thoughts. They were actually up by 2,500 gold prior to that fight. With EG holding the kill lead, they have done a very good job, and as far as the overall game plan goes, I think that's the important thing to highlight here is DC know their 5-man is just not as good. Even if you hit like a perfect bow torrent, you probably still don't take the fight at this stage of the game. They have spread EG out, but they're pushing it just a little bit too far. They have to be patient, continue to let the Slark farm. At some point, maybe the Ursa, the Beastmaster, can try to sneak towards the Roshan pit. With that tier 1 down bottom, and already you can see EG, they have their own ambitions.
EG at this point, I mean, they're down a couple thousand, I think 2,000 in terms of net worth right now, but it's not that much, and especially with the Terrorblade farming as he is. He has the Dragonlance. You can see already that they're kind of setting up. There is a lot of vision here in the jungle for the Radiant team. DC have some very good vision as well. So moving forward right now, I don't think you want to fight as DC until you maybe get a BKB on Ursa or the Necro 3 coming out for a Beastmaster. It's probably the most important item to have that mana drain to make sure you can actually, and the damage that it deals also is pretty insane as well. So, and the 5-man that you have from EG is just, there's too many ultimates. You have the Earth Splitter, you have the Ravage, Sunder, obviously Metamorphosis, and the Bruce Split. There's just too much to deal with for DC at this point.
Yeah, but they can play around the cooldowns, which so far they've done quite a good job of. I wonder what Weeha's going for here. Does grab the Belt of Giant Strength. Normally this would be a Basher on Ursa, but generally you don't see that as the first item. I suppose a possible Sanj pickup.
I'm fine with waiting
and all, unusual. More often it is the Ags build, BKB. It's a Fusel Blade is an occasional pickup. I know CTY really popular as that build as EG now need their own moment here.
I'm just getting some.
It wouldn't be an Dota without a smiley face, Mark. I'm just waiting.
The battle resumes.
One of those two things.
We haven't gotten enough question marks for my taste, so I have to tell you.
This has been a very mannered international so far.
The team's trying to keep things loose for themselves, but there is so much pressure. If DC were relaxed going into game 2, they have to be a little more nervous now. Tournament lives on the line. So too for EG, Sumail. Another game where he's had a rough start. Almost always when EG have won this tournament, it has been with Sumail just taking over. But this game, it's a totally different strategic approach from EG, and he won't win the game solo. It's going to be a team effort for them.
Sumail, he's picked up the gloves of haste, and I don't think he has the belt of strength, so he may very well go for a Midas. It might be a little bit of time, but we've seen that when Masters have struggled in the past. Yeah. Midas is always a good choice to get back into the game. He's one of those heroes that works really well with it.
And his ultimate scales very well. The duration increases, and the cooldown goes down substantially. So just getting levels on Brewmaster alone is quite important, so there's less downtime for your ultimate. You already have a lot of downtime just with Ravage alone. It's going to be a very long time before Universe gets a refresher. Whereas DC, they're the lineup that can pretty much always fight. The boat has a 1-minute cooldown, even at level 1. Slark has very frequent uptime on all of his spells. Obviously, Ursa, Beastmaster. Basically every minute, DC have their full complement of spells. EG, the ones who need to fight around cooldown, so the levels do matter quite a bit here for Brewmaster. DC, they'll take this tier 2 top. They probably realize that EG are in the Roach Pit, especially now that you just see Zai and Sumail confidently roaming around the river. They already saw a couple DC heroes top. They know DC is not coming to contest, but DC's still getting significant trades as Israel looks to slow things down at the court. Sumail trying to get on him. Doesn't want to commit a split just for him. There might be a boat. We could see a Aegis Snipe potential as Weehaw moves in.
Great deal by Sumail though, and he's going to get stunned up with the stop. Sumail's TP almost looks like a fear.
The Axel is the TP back. Sumail can't come to defend. Already this tier 3 top is almost falling on. DC are ratting this one out.
Sunder comes through. We have the Jason there now. Looks like he's comfortable with the Enraged Ravage. And they actually will break down the tide on the surface. Now they're going for the Rage Rack. DC are about to get a Rage Rack at 16 minutes in.
They lose lose Weehaw, they lose their Kunk, and they give up an Aegis, but the Ravage committed. The Brewmaster split down. The top lane caved in. This buys a lot of time. Earthsplitter not going to connect. Resolution sneaking away. What a brilliant maneuver by DC. Misery with the X there on the Brewmaster, preventing Sumail from defending home. Universe ravaging too late. They might even lose Moo. That would be a third hero dying.
Moo will end up going down, but I think he bought maybe 3
Yes, he has the Necro 3 now. So he doesn't really lose any gold. It's a very even trade, I want to say, overall. Like, a Range Rex is not that catastrophic for EG. They still have the Aegis on the Terrorblade, but they had to use their ultimates. And even though they got 3 kills, Beastmaster doesn't lose any gold. It's a pretty back and forth exchange there. I think neither team, like, oh my god, we just crushed them in that fight. That's the killing blow by it. It's still up in the air, Mod, but this next round of action could determine a lot. Metamorphosis ready in 20 minutes, and now what the analyst talked about is going to come to pass. EG will sit behind the Terrorblade, ready with the Grave, and just constantly siege towers. Can DC hold?
This time there's, again, like you said, no more ultimate for Brewmaster to still be on cooldown for a period of time. 54 seconds for that, 66 for Ravage. They still have some time for those ultimates. You don't really want to fight into Aegis, but you can definitely defend the tower, I think.
He's saving Metamorphosis here. EG perhaps signaling they want to go for more than even just a tier 2. Potentially, we'll think about a tier 3, but defenses are being clustered by Digital Chaos. They're sweeping around the river, Mod.
Radiant's top tower is under Radiant's top tower has
fallen. They want to take it down, but they're going to go even further and look for a tier 2.
There's a Sentry Ward planted down, though. They are ready for that Slark to move in.
This is very dangerous.
And the Spirit scouts off, so there won't be an easy ambush, but the Courier does get sniped. Big pickup there. Still, Terrorblade begins to mount his siege.
He's still waiting to go in from the backside. DC, if they finally stay, I don't think we can do anything about that.
That's a key high ground item. Not having mana for fear is a big deal. This may have saved DC from a potential high ground siege. Wonder if EG's going to wait. They do still have, it looks
Radiant's
like, about 3 minutes on the Aegis, but that's about how long it'll take the Courier to come back too. 2.5. And now they move in. Rezo doesn't have any way to cancel TP, so he won't find a pickoff. We are also poking in mid. DC just trying to spread this map out.
This is the one with the Basher. Resolution went for the Echo Saber and the Shadow Blade. Typical build, but for now, Fierce Metamorphosis is going to cool down here pretty soon. And yeah, I think they maybe could have gone tier 3s with the Ravage as well as the Brew Split available. They were trying, DC were trying to split push while that was happening, but it took a tier 2 tower so fast they're able to TP back in and defend that tier 2 mid. So for now, it's just going to be splitting up and farming again. And DC are going to have to find a way to fight around those team fight abilities.
Yeah, spreading the map is the best way, so if you get Ravaged, as we saw top, it's 1 or 2 heroes, there might not be any follow-up damage, same for the Brew Split. Killing those heroes, very difficult. It's 2 completely different styles. Either can work here. It really does just come down to execution, which is what you want out of a Game 3. Outdraft, not necessarily the most exciting, but this really feels like both teams have their own game plan, and either can absolutely work.
It feels like we're waiting for that one big fight for EG. For DC, they're just going to try to split up the map as best as possible. We talked about the tier 2 towers, though, are still up and available. And DC want to take those down so they have access to the other tier 3s. I mentioned that melee Rex top lane, and Zai about to get picked off. There it is.
Isn't going to come through, doesn't matter.
Not much
There is, however, a Tiger person coming out.
Just the Aegis, though. Universe, he blinks in now, looking for the near Ravage. The Guts is on Resolution, but he can't find any follow-up.
That's so big for DC. Universe reveals the blink. They pop the Aegis, and now EG, even afraid to move forward despite having their ultimates. They want to wait for the Elder Titan to respawn. God, that takes a lot of momentum out of this EG 5-man push.
Resolution continues to just Shadow Blade up on the sidelines, and can we go again? Looking to try to find another hero here, but
he's hit and run tactics, Mod. Very impressive. It's difficult to execute this against a team as coordinated as EG.
It's like guerrilla warfare from the tree line coming out from the Slark in almost every situation, but EG will move together again. It's that 5-man movement, or at least 4-man movement, as they will have the Zai Elder Titan respawn, and they're going to push out the top lane.
And the Hawk is just so good against this style of play from EG. Like, you always see when they're coming. Mood doing a good job at keeping vision. You can see another Hawk closer to the EG base. This is what enables their aggressive split push and aggressive spreading of the map, is the vision game. Moo, he was very quiet early. Iron Talent, AFK Jungle Beastmaster. That's where all the other lanes aside from mid seem to struggle a bit, but Now that he's gotten his levels past the Necro Book, he starts to have a bigger impact on the stretch.
I'm wondering what he's going to go for next. The Blink Dagger, I don't believe they have a Blight, so he could also go down that route as well. The Blink Dagger might be crucial to find that initiation on someone like Sumail. X-Mark Torrent's going to come in, no Ghost to follow up, showing that they have some spells to use, although they do minimal damage to Misery, and he'll back up.
But poking away top of lane, the Irritant Resolution, a thorn in the side of EG, and they have to come defend again, and as they're doing that, well, Universe blinks in. Does he dare go at red though? There's a disruption. Meanwhile, top lane, Beastmaster split push again. EG have to be careful not to get pushed in too hard in this lane. Fear isn't with them either. They're getting pulled around quite a bit.
This is tough. Nice.
And even if they get that Slark kill, it's obviously bad for DC. It's not a disaster by any means. Weehaw still farming, Beastmaster still farming. Not to mention even the Kunkka of Misery keeping his own economy up. He's got 2,500 gold mod. We saw that Crystallis Bloodthorn for Misery yesterday. We might see it again. The top lane, it's moved and he says, hell yeah.
That is one ultimate down. They still have plenty more to use, and that is a pretty big kill. Move is split pushing like crazy, so I don't think DC should feel like there's an opening. Even with Ravage down, it's still something that you have to consider. The Bruce Split is up, all those other abilities for EG are ready to go.
Oh, they're definitely more confident with Ravage down. You can see the way they're moving in, even though it's 4v5. Deep. Aggressive plays by Resolution. Gets that quick little bash on Sumail. Hey, buddy, how you doing? And backs away. They're getting in the heads of EG, though. Like, EG is constantly reacting. Notice, like, they're not executing their game plan, which is sit behind Terrorblade, 5-man, have the Dazzle Brave ready. If DC dare contest, you just jump in with the big ultimate. They're the reactive team. This is not how EG want to be playing.
EG, they would like to be, again, they have such a good 5-man push and team fight lineup, but they just can't find a way to split up and push these waves out, you know? You don't have that Naga Siren that can constantly use the Radiant Burn. The Ghost Ship is coming in. We'll hit here, but that's it. Just try to clear out the creep wave. And again, it's guerrilla tactics from DC to just clear out every wave they can.
Asomso's ratting it out bottom. This feels like the old Cloud9 almost. Anyway, 2000 not here at TI, but his spirit living on.
We're going to try to push mid finally.
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
They have pop metamorphosis.
Radiant structures are
the
fortified.
Difference makers. They have this fast push coming out, whereas DC, it's slow and steady. And here comes Resolution to the top lane again. And already TPs are coming through EG.
Anybody home? Anybody home? And he just leaps away. So, tier 2 does fall. But also, tier 2 exchange for DC. They will take the bottom tower.
Not bad again.
Like, Renzo going in top again. He wants by. He wants to get the back here. Can he get the kill? He will do so. Beautiful pick from the Circuit. Now they're chasing after PPD. Move hot on his tail, but PPD able to force staff away. That's what happens when you spread out this much. Is it's much easier for a hero like Slark to find pickoffs.
Especially with that Ravage still down. Universe could have helped if he had that, but there's no way he could do anything. All he could do is sit there and mech at that point in time, just try to keep his eye alive. Unfortunately, he goes down. He's down for 15 seconds, and again, the waves are barely pushed out in this top lane. Even with just a Range Rex down, it's still a significant tower damage if they're not careful. They need to be careful with how this lane is pushed in.
DC are kind of far forward here with the Ravage almost up. Sumail wants to punish, blinks in, collapse, he gets X. They might be able to force out a Bruce Split.
Rose doing some nice mana burn. He still has plenty of mana and 16 charges as well. We're chasing forward though, looks like they want to find something.
So well, EG has to be incredibly frustrated right now.
Universe is looking to go in, but yeah, like you said, I mean, they push forward together and they can't find anybody. They're all sitting in the trees.
And now Misery has a blink, as well as 1,500 gold, picked it up a couple of minutes ago, so he can X himself, blink in, smack the creep wave back away. Moo can just throw out the Necro Book, safely split push. Shadow Demon blink, he's able to rat. DC just pulling out something unexpected. You did not look at this draft, I think, for most people, like, oh, this is a rat lineup. It was more like, oh, Shadow Demon Kunkka gonna roam, Slark and Ursa need to snowball for kills. They turned it into something completely different that EG weren't ready for.
It feels like Fear almost has to do all of this on his own. I mean, there is still that, like, Ravage. There are all these abilities.
He is still farming really well.
Oh, he has a double hit. See you later, side. It's very easy.
You do make a good point, Mod. Fear does continue to farm exceptionally well, and they don't have the best solutions at this stage. Oh, Renzo going to the Universe.
I can't believe he got it and still chasing. He's got pounds up at 2. I'm not sure that he needs to the pound. See you later.
He has no He just fought the Guardian Greaves. He's out for 40. DC probably not going to go high ground off of that, but potentially a tier 2 mid is there for the taking now.
These little pickoffs coming out from Resolution every so often, and it's provided him so much space.
First it was Weeha, now Rezo, with the space he was granted earlier, is taking over. And speaking of taking over, Weeha occupying the Roshan pit now while they push it.
He's going to get this. He's an Ursa. He should be able to take this down rather quickly. Assuming the split mid there. They really want to defend that tier 2 tower, but the split now. And we're out. Down. And he doesn't find anything with it at all.
And they take Roshan on top of it. Another window opens up for DC. Tidehunter now alive again, but Brewmaster split down. Sumail almost got bashed there too. He barely even got off the split. Now Slark has a BKB. And BKB is a great item to have against Brewmaster. You can ignore the boulder toss. You don't have to worry about the Cyclone. The Drunken Haze no longer an issue. This item is a pretty hard counter to these heroes.
So, that's pretty absurd. They're going to look for a fight. X marks onto TPD just to make sure he stays right where they want him to. And again, split pushing bottom this time.
I think EG are going to go for this one, Maud. Even though they don't have the Brew split, the Ravage is more important, and they are aggressively pushing down mid. At the same time, Beastmaster shoving in the top wave. It might see a trade here. Terrorblade will outpush the Beastmaster.
Yeah, absolutely. The Metamorphosis is already up. They're ready to go. They need to find a fight. Even without Brew split, they're ready to go.
They're going to go with a slow this thing down. Does a decent amount to clear out the wave, but the illusions are stacking up.
It's falling so quickly. Disruption's going to give them at least some of these on the DC side. Coming in again. They'll the tower. Here comes Resolution. On the back side of the BKB. And we have 2 minutes. Not getting anywhere. Getting tied in. Resolution finishes offside. Here comes Universe. He's got
nice thunder by Fear, but Resolution just popped the ultimate. What a raid!
And the Ravage comes down. Weeha does the raid. Another raid. And he gets tied in. The Aegis is down.
There is Ransom. Bottom lane, it's Moo. He draws the Terrorblade back, and now they're going to look to chase Weeha. Can he cancel a TP? Doesn't get the bash auto attack off. Still, the top lane was granted in while that was happening. Moo takes the melee. DC seizing the advantage here. More gold into their coffers. And that was with EG getting off the Sunder, having a sick build on by DPD and a Grave to salvage the fight. And now they double down on that split push mod. BOTs for Moo.
They're getting everything they need to be able to wrap this out if need be. The split push, again, guerrilla warfare tactics. That's all it takes.
You can really see how strong the Slark is in the fight when he has BKB. Like, they could not do anything to him. Could have actually killed the Terrorblade potentially if he had realized how low the Shadow Demon would bring him. And that's the other thing is they have Shadow Demon versus Terrorblade. This is a great hero to limit his damage and even to create your own army that can mess him up with the Disruption, the Soul Catcher Purge. A lot of pure damage ignores all that armor on the TB. DC not out the woods yet, but they are really testing EG here, who are going to barrel down mid again.
Moo's already begun his assault in the bottom lane, but instead of going mid, they're going to actually smoke up and set up a trap here. Moo seems to know something's up, and as well, Soxa might be the one to catch them. In fact, he breaks the smoke and blinks away in time. TP out, can he make it?
And he glimmers to ensure the retreat. Soxa, the gentle giant, has a killer instinct here. Weeha's looking for a jump. He finds Fear. He gets off that first back. He can force out the Sunder. He's got the ultimate available. Now, moving in. Rezo can pop ultimate. Being a Sunder target. Fear not going to get it off. Locked out. Past the Sunder, his teammate, and then DC looks to walk away. Universe doesn't have Ravage. 30 seconds to go. And he will move bottom.
He's going in again. He's got the Necros up. He's going. Sumail doesn't have enough mana for it. Split, and his Wando has one charge.
And Renzo goes back in on top on this side. Another great force down. EG being pushed to the limit here. He does have to BKB on the way out. That lane of Rack's advantage is even further enabling the spreading of the map. Constantly shoving in a wave. EG, decent wave clear. They don't have an Ember, a Tinker, like that amazing mobile hero that can constantly push out waves with ease.
If you're EG, you think you should be pushing up the waves yourself. You don't expect to be back in your base against this type of lineup. It's just too much. with Misery getting involved.
Misery almost has that Bloodthorn or Daedalus at this point.
It's like, that's crazy the amount of damage he's going to be able to pump out too, and look at that.
And True Strike is really good against Brewmaster, mind you, so he can silence Sumail, and then there's no evasion. Sumail will be food in the next fight with that, or you can silence the Dazzle, prevent him from getting off a grave. Bloodthorn is actually really good this game for Misery.
Still way to the way. Disruption on move bottom, send some illusions in any way to make this easier for DC to try to get into the base and take that next set of racks, or even just a tier 3 tower.
I mean, for EG, it only takes DC making one really big draw move, not having buybacks. Terrorblade pushes that fast. But keeping an eye on buybacks, we can see 4 Radiant Heroes currently have it, and I imagine they will look to maintain it. It's the insurance policy in case they do screw up. It also is the counter to the big team fight ultimates. EG have to force 2 rounds of mistakes if they're going to easily walk towards high ground.
It's just DC know that they're 5-man, just not yet. Still, even at this point, more than likely they can't stand up to EG, so EG's on the map again. And EG, they've wanted to push and fight for the longest time, they've just not found the ability to do so. It's gotta be crazy.
I mean, PPD buys the smoke game has been increasingly impressive by DC as this game moves along, and that is the biggest thing limiting EG, more so than even the split push. The split push is fueled by that vision, and EG unable to deny it.
So Roshan is a long duration respawn, I believe. It's not going to be up for a little bit. So what do you do as EG until then? I guess you just have to keep the lane pushed out, because that's all they're doing right now at this point. Like you said, because of the vision, they can't really get out of their base.
You're banking on one big screw up by DC, and you definitely want the Aegis before you go high ground. You can't count on the grave save for the Terrorblade necessarily, with a potential silence coming out, the roar, all the bashes they now have. He's still saving that gold. Curious what he ends up going for. I imagine it will be the Bloodthorn.
EG are wrapping on mid, but there's nobody here yet for DC. Resolution can come through. Everyone's back at the base, it looks like, for DC.
But top lane's already shoved all the way in. One Terrorblade illusion is not going to fully stop this wave, and Misery, the man out in front, has the X just for the safe return. He hits the wave button, then he hits the wave, and they have caught him.
It looks like it might not be this time with the weave up on top. They will get the kill. He immediately buys back, and they know. And this might be their best bet. They now interact with the game, and here we go.
Misery trying to slow things down here. Keeps CC going while the top lane pushes in. Courtesy of the Song of Fear. He gets the first lane Saksa. Blinking in for the disruption that glimmers themselves with Purge Fear. Keeps the old man at bay. And they creep to the way. Next event. Coming out.
Killing double kill. Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
There's one more. They've got the disruption. University flanks away. Renzo, can he find him in the trees? Meanwhile, it's moved to the rescue for DC. Pushing that bottom lane in. Forcing EG to buy back on the Terrorblade. They scout him with the stock. He walks away from this with fear. Corners and corrals and will bring him down. In the end, EG get only a ranged Rex. They lose their tier 3 bottom. They are forced to buy back on Terrorblade, trading that only for a Kunkka buyback.
And they used all of their abilities. EG, Universe, no Ravage, no Brewmaster Split. They used the Earth Splitter as well. And Sunder just coming off cooldown. Pretty short cooldown for the Terrorblade. Metamorphosis is the longer one. I'll be back up in 62 seconds. So DC's go time right now, even with the heroes down. 35 seconds to get control. Resolution getting gushed up, as well as the Spirit following him. To get away, and looks like he will be successful in doing so.
Yeah, the Shadow Demon is just giving Fear absolute fits this game. Now even as a butterfly, but that only makes his own illusion scarier to deal with as well. And Saksa doing such a good job at initiating. When he goes in, he Glimmer Capes himself first so that EG, who had the gem on Universe, but he isn't always in front, can more safely get that disruption off. You see the pressure mounting on Resolution though. Reflection forcing him back. The lanes are in a decent position for EG right now. No Roshan respawn just yet, but Saksa going to scout out this latest movement. Top lane always going to be a thorn in their side.
Zelda gets to tier 4. It's still going to be okay. It's done a little bit of damage to the tier 4 back at the base, but it's really minimal at this point.
Now Slark Butterfly going to start to run into slot issues here for Terrorblade. Fear has farmed very well this entire game, but he'll need an MKB at this point. Ideally, you would love a Satanic, potentially a BKB when that Bloodthorn's out, as you only have the Manta to remove the silence, and you really need to make sure you get off Sunder. We've seen even when he gets it off, DC can nuke him down pretty quickly.
Well, the problem with Misery in that Bloodthorn is that he did have to buy back. Yeah. Bloodthorn being the most expensive item in the game is kind of, or second most expensive item in the game is kind of from a big point.
Yeah, it may delay the item. We'll see if he even ends up going for it. Buyback always going to be paramount. But the game will settle down now, and the next clash, the next likely tension point is going to be when the Roshan respawn. Just under a minute, it looks like, before EG potentially have a crack at that. Both teams can kill him very quickly.
Looks like they really want this tier 2 tower for DC. I'm surprised they haven't gone for it. They've gone for it numerous times, and EG have defended it with their life, almost more so than they did that top lane of Rax. Sumail is sitting around it right now with Split ready to go. So Resolution, he sees that, and he just want to go for it. They have the creep wave coming in, but Sumail will take care of it.
Eco's BKB really wants the tower. He's going to get stopped. Forces out the glyph, leaps away.
It's in deny range now. I think they might just deny it at this point.
That's still map control loss for EG, which means Roshan gets a bit more difficult, and that's why they're kind of hesitant to deny it. Eventually they will. Maybe more about the flash hit, but if that tower falls, you can see DC right into the Roche pin mod.
He's heading over there as well. They have Weave ready to go. They have the Astral in their provision, and DC are spread out this time. Again, the problem with the split push is that if you're spread out, you can't be in Roche together taking down this Aegis or right now.
Trying to corral Misery, but he backs away to a safe distance. Meanwhile, Moo shoving in bottom. He's going to be the next target. The creep wave was cut top by Resolution. DC with the spread offense, but they're close to getting caught. Focus is on them, and Will gets the 2 crucial kills. Rezo is trying to push in mid, but they're a terribly illusion, slowing this shove down.
This is a great timing for EG. Not only can they get those kills, they can maybe force up by the Aegis at the very least.
They actually have vision on Weeha right now. They have a deep ward. And Rezo is sneaking around.
He's going to find TPD. Weeha.
12 Essence shift stacks, so he has evasion. If he can heal up at this fight, it would be trouble, but Fear just clotheslines Weeha, crushes the Ursa. They're not split pushing on. EG are starting to get the momentum they need to take that Roche. That's 3 kills for them. DC, no objectives this time. This is very tense.
There's nobody split pushing in like you talked about. They're not really getting those objectives. And they were trying to just...
Rezo. What's he doing?
I don't know if that's the play. He should have shouted at BKB. He's being very aggressive here. No Ravage.
They do not want Fear getting an Aegis here, Maud. But I think they may have to accept it's going to be his. Sansa perhaps will risk the support life to try and steal this. Scouty with the poison, but the pings of plenty for PPD. And they will grab the Aegis here, the cheese as well. Something they can pass to Fear after the Aegis, so potentially he's got the extra life from the Aegis, the extra life from the cheese, the extra life from the Sunder, and the Grave. Not to mention buyback, up to 5 extra lives if you really want to count them that way.
Yeah, those were some critical kills. He's not going for the Bloodthorn. Misery has picked up the Daedalus. It's that one Tidebringer proc that might be able to swing things their way.
Somewhere Sing Sing is smiling.
It's been a while since I've seen a Daedalus.
Perhaps attacker nowadays.
They're looking for a move. The Astral heads the wrong direction. His boots of travel were cooling down. We'll be able to TP out now, though. And Resolution, again, continues to just hunt. They try and find these pickoffs. The EG are being, I think, a bit more diligent about getting caught out of the base. They want to push together. They want to find another kill before they get anywhere else.
So as for EG, next round of items, what's it going to be here? BOTs for Fear. Very important pickup so that he can deal with the waves and also push a lane out, come join his team, or get a lane of Rax, TP home to defend. Kunkka's X could be very big to cancel TPs, and on that note, DC R-Smoke, the Courier, completes an Aghanim Scepter for Brew, but Moo might be able to snipe it!
Dyer's Courier has been killed.
That's a full dash down the great and but here we go. Sumail jumps in, he wants it. Looking for more. Here comes Weeha. Universe is getting shot down. Down to his Misery. PPD. They're looking for Resolution about to find Universe. He gets forced away.
He's got the pounce. He gets the angle. He gets the kill. Do they split push or do they dare fight? The Metamorph committed. They are going to reassemble here. Universe, a rare whip from him. They do Cyclone, a little block. They try to surround him, but he BKB. He now wants to run. Look at that hit. Chunks down. He has the Shadow Blade. Is there detection right now? It doesn't look like it. Nothing on EG. He will make it out.
This wave's not pushed up enough bottom. I think they'll be able to take care of this. And the next room is here to go down soon as well. Resolution able to heal back up with the Shadow Dance after getting assaulted by Fear. It's a 2-for-2 engagement.
Man, that Brewmaster not having his Aghanim Scepter. Sumail actually didn't even have close to buyback when the Courier died. And he just went in. I don't think DC realized there had a chance to click on the Courier to see whose item it was necessarily, but Sumail at this point is very close to it. So EG dodges a bit of a bullet, potential bullet there. Now a Hurricane Pike for Fear, so a nice kiting item to have against the Slark, against the Ursa. You want to keep your distance against the two Bash Lords, and this is an item that will let you do it.
Game number 3, MKB picked up for the Slark, and Wings has waited and baited breath at this point to determine who they're going to play up against. Right now, one lane of Rax down on one side, a half lane on the other. Here comes Mizu with the X mark clearing up some of the creep wave and Resolution Shadow Blade.
Walking by a sentry, he does his BKB. As long as the BKB is up, I don't know if they can kill him, even if they know he's there, but they can definitely force it out.
Oh, I think Moo's been spotted. I think he might be able to get out. No, Fear gets to the 4th.
There's no Rabbit, no bomb, and here comes the flank.
This could be huge.
They do find Sumail, they lock on. They blow him up, he can't get off the split. Dead for 80. No buyback for 60. Gold and PPD now trapped in the tree. They get the disruption too. And all the while it's Mystery hitting on the tier 3 mid.
Maybe not. Resolution taking the Earth Splitter, has the Shadow Dance. Fear blocking him in with the illusions on the other side. Universe takes option down. And we don't get stopped up, but like you said, that mid-lane Misery still going to work.
They cancel the side. Mega kill! The Terrorblade army is angry, and it does manage to bring down Fuzzy Wuzzy. Universe committing the rampage from the Dark Pact for Rental. He gets out scot-free. Tier 3 down. Catapult just blinking away slowly but surely at the range racks. Now 2 exposed blades for EG, and perhaps more importantly, DC have stalled through almost the entire duration of the Aegis Maw, and if EG want to push, they're going to have to wait about 20 seconds here, and they do so without the Ravage.
And they use the cheese on Universe as well, so both of those Roche items now down, or at least down soon for that Aegis coming out for EG. They do lose 3 heroes for DC, one of them being a support, Mu going down obviously. The biggest pick is Weehaw, down for 29 seconds. I thought they could have gotten more done. Sumail did end up actually having buyback at the tail end of his respawn timer.
Just doesn't feel like Universe has been able to have his customary impact in the off-lane Ravage. So difficult to use reliably against double BKB carries, one of whom can Dark Pact it off, the other of whom can just enrage and walk away. You look back and you wonder, would a Void have done anything different here? Not the best 5-man high ground hero, as he doesn't generally build into a mech or those types of items, but they would sure love to have a Chrono now. Not something EG can look back on, but normally when this team does well at TI, it is with Universe. See Resolution just creeping.
It's backdoor protected, so if he goes in and
he wants a kill. He wants a kill.
He might get a kill. Resolution, BKB, he wants Universe, gets 1, 2 backers, but now he's caught by everyone. He has to step in to get away. The Ghost Ship's coming in, it will miss, it looks like for the most part. X-Mark Misery, now he's caught. The Quiver, not gonna save him this time. He will fall.
He does the buyback and instantly Zoxley wants to cut the wave mid. So too does Resolution. But Zai spotted this with the ward. He knows where the Slark is, and Rezo knows he's spotted as the Shadow Dance is currently deactivated. This is a big opening for EG. Fear has Metamorphosis. Ravage is up in 30. Split already at the ready. Buyback from the Kunkka. I'm almost starting to wonder, will EG consider trying to throw it at some point rather than just taking Rax? But they work on the melee here with Illusion.
He's now down after this. How far do they want to go?
Misery just cleans out the wave.
Wow.
Oh, dearie me.
And the disruption as well. They might get the mid-rack, that might that's gonna be all they get, I think, at this point. They're backing up together.
Bottom lane pushing in, and what's this round opportunity? Bruce Blake committed. Huge
Double kill. Dire's bottom barracks have fallen.
BKB not saving him here. He's thinking about the throw now. He's hitting kill forward. He won't be Spectre. Going for Megas. Who's gonna take it? EG on the offense. DC just want to
Where did Radiant's little tower go?
He's got middle. He's got the more
Somebody better help Dire's middle tower.
Who's got buyback? Von Slark has it. Beast Spencer has it. No buyback for EG. No Ravage for 80.
That gold change. It's 6,000 negative gold going the way of EG. They've lost 6,000 after that fight.
I think DC can just walk right down mid. They've got Mega Crit.
Spear from Fear.
Fear is going all in. Can he pull out in the clutch? There's no Ravage here. There is an Earth Splitter to stall. The stop could be huge. Already Zai slowing things down. But I don't think Fear can really just go for the throne. There's nothing to TP to right now. He's going to have to win a fight.
The lanes are too pushed out as well. He has to go through buyback if he's going to TP in or try to get into the base.
He will have Metamorphosis, though. They bought that much time. Slark Rapier Purchase. He still has buyback.
Here comes the Megas straight down. Data Resolution as well joining them. And EG are sitting behind their tier 4 towers. They know that's the last bastion of hope they have. Sumela's up in 32 seconds. Still no buyback. Saksa, he's found Illusion. He's watching once more.
They're building an army, Mod. These illusions turned against EG.
They can't clear this, I don't think.
They do have Ravage soon. 15 seconds, but so many ways to deal with it.
They're falling.
Weehaw sneaking around.
Looks like Dire fortified their structure.
Dire's under attack. It's all on you now.
It's down Universe. Ravage.
Straight for the jugular. Onto the throw of a stop Renzo.
Double kill. Dire's ancient is under attack. Triple kill.
Completed their journey. A team that had a captain that didn't even want a captain. Players who are booted after winning Shanghai. Misery and Weehaw have proved the haters wrong. This team has done it. They go now to face Wings, and there will not be